Hey there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day. whatever day it is, whatever time it is where you're at. Really excited for today. I'm running a couple minutes behind. I've had a really crazy morning. I slept in, had like an hour or something of REM sleep according to my Fitbit, and a super wild dream. And Veronica Paris is going to join me. I'm super excited about this. We're new friends on Facebook, and we actually know a lot of the same people in the dance community. And so I am going to add you. Let's see. I have you on here, but it's not letting me add you. This sometimes happens. So I'm not sure why it's not allowing me to add you. Go ahead and request. Find there's a place in the background. I think if you swipe your screen, it'll give you the option to ask to be invited, ask to be included in the broadcast, and then I can add you. I'm not sure why it's not letting me because I invited you. This is Facebook, and we will get you on. So we'll just be patient and make all that happen, Veronica. Because I do see that you're in here. It's just not giving me the add button. I'm going to invite you again because I'm really excited to see what you have to share. I've seen some of your videos and you've got really, really good things to say. They're along the lines that I share to help people about like the thoughts. I mean, the thing when I saw about the thoughts, that one just like was like, oh yeah, definitely want to talk with Veronica about thoughts. It's shown 3 times that I've invited you. I'm not sure why it's not letting me bring you in. Okay. I'm going to invite you again. There, I've invited you again. So let's see if that'll make a difference. No, it's still not letting me let you in. And I know it's your first time, so sometimes it is a little frustrating this way. Or a little bit of a challenge. So all good things come to those that wait, right? I'm going to try one more time to invite you in. Add viewers. Veronica, let me add Veronica, please. She's so spectacular, and I want to get to know her better and share her with you. Come on. I love Facebook. Okay, it does show that you're invited. So I guess you just have to find the invite on, yeah. Let's see. There should be something that shows up on your screen, somewhere on your screen, that you've been invited to join me. And typically, it will just give me a little add button, but right now it's not. Because you're on your phone, and I know that you do Facebook Live, so your camera is shared with Facebook. And if you're in horizontal, so that you'll be on the side. We'll hide Adelaide. You'll probably take up the space where Adelaide's lovely painting is about core energy. So cool. Yeah. Sometimes Facebook wants us to know that it's in control. We get it, Facebook. You are definitely in control, and this is my 144th day of going live with Facebook. And some days it's super easy to bring somebody in. And I know. And some days it's difficult. Why don't you go ahead and pop off and try again? Let's try that, because sometimes that will work. Just like hop off of Facebook, or shut down your phone, not shut down the phone, but close the application, Facebook application, and go ahead and come back in, and we'll see if it'll work then. Because I've invited you 3 times, and I should be able to put you on, because you have beautiful things to say that people that are looking to know how to love themselves would benefit from. And so I really would like to have your voice here with me today. And I'd hope for a smooth, easy get you on and we start talking. And sometimes that just, sometimes it doesn't work that way. I wish that it could always be that. Ah, okay, good. So you've just popped off. Okay. So let's get you back on, and that would be good. Yep, you are invited. Okay. All right. So Veronica has left, and now she's going to come back, and it's going to work. I'm going to trust. Ah, all right. Yes. Okay. Approve. Yes. I can add you. Yeah. Sometimes we have to jump through hoops. Facebook likes us to do those things. Yes, we love you, Facebook. Thank you for making it easy. I heard a rumor that they're getting ready to let us do it from laptops. And if that's actually the case, and we can do that soon or even now, that would be really amazing. So the adding sign is working for you, Veronica. And so soon I should see you on the side screen here. And yes, it's adding and flashing at me. It's happening. I need new internet service. That's the problem. It's not Facebook, it's my internet service. Or maybe it's operator error. I've been doing this for a while though, 144 days, not every day with a special guest, but it's just interesting how it does what it does. Come, pretty love, come. Huh. It says no answer from you. Okay. That was really, really interesting. Well, try it again because you're still invited. I think that that was a Facebook thing. So Veronica, that was a Facebook thing. It showed that it was adding you and it did not. And here you are again. And I'm approving you. I am adding you. And it says that it's adding you. So the birth of a new Facebook Live star. So that's true. You've been doing Facebook Lives. You just haven't been a guest. So this is one reason why people don't do a lot of guesting. Yes, you are in approval. I have approved you. It is adding. So Facebook's in the process of adding you. Sometimes it just takes a while, though it could be my internet service. It's been really spotty lately. Just going to have to step up and get the only other service that's available in this area. We have 2 of them, and supposedly the other one is now working better than the one that I have currently. Add her, please. Come, please. Come, pretty love. Come, come. Boy, this whole, yeah, no answer from live video host. Okay, I don't know what's going on, Veronica. And I mean, and it's letting me approve you again and add you again. No answer from live video host. Mercury didn't go retrograde while I wasn't looking, did it? So it's still saying no, no answer from you. Wow. Okay. I wonder if you have a setting that I can't imagine. I mean, if you're shared, and it let me invite you, and it let me try to add you. Next, what's the next thing in this process of getting you on here live with me? Well, this is maybe a good opportunity that while we're figuring out how we can get Veronica on live with me, is to talk about loving yourself and asking, how can I love myself today when you run up against a whole bunch of challenges, like something isn't happening the way you want it to, and you start getting really frustrated. And it's easy to do. I mean, we're all human. Even if we've been studying the light and we've been doing positive affirmations and working on living a life that is one full of gratitude and positivity and optimism, that it's possible that it's likely, especially if you are a leader or meant to be a leader, you're going to have challenges. I mean, as humans, we're going to have challenges no matter how much you study the light. And here's the dichotomy that is just so freaky. The more light you bring, the bigger the shadow. The bigger your message, the bigger the shadow. And if you're a leader and you're stepping up to be a leader and you're sharing with others and being an example and an inspiration, you have challenges to overcome so that you can show those people that you inspire that they can be overcome. And hopefully with grace and ease, and sometimes with a lot of tears, and reaching out and asking for help and support. And so when you run across a challenge like this, you have choices. You can go, oh, damn that Facebook, and be all angry and frustrated and irritated that things aren't working. Or you can just say, well, maybe we have a better time where this message can be heard by more. Because at this point, it's not letting you in. You are invited, and I don't know why it's not doing it. And I apologize, Veronica, because we went through both of our schedules quite thoroughly to find this date and time to be able to have this Facebook Live together. And so let's have another conversation and find another date, and we'll go ahead and promote it. And yeah, I know it's not working, and I've done all the things that I know how to make it work. Yeah, exactly. What is the disconnect? And that was one of the things I was sharing this last weekend with people. It's like, here I've been doing all this work. I'm getting all these things clear in my life. I'm doing all this self-love. And what's the disconnect? Why from one moment did I go from having money show up out of nowhere to having one of my accounts overdrawn? And it was like, what is happening? I was so freaked out. And then I've gone ahead and added you again because you just popped in again, and that so we'll see if you come on. Like I said, patience. Maybe I was supposed to say these things. Who knows? And so what is the disconnect? And sometimes it's not that it's a disconnect, it's part of your journey, so that you can that contrast and getting through the shadow, working through the shadow parts of ourselves, and being able to share the result. Because if the yin yang, if you're familiar with the yin yang symbol, it contains just as much light as it does dark. And we hide our power, and we hide our sexuality, and we hide some pretty juicy things in our shadow because they're either socially not acceptable, or someone has programmed us that this is not something that's done. It's not okay. Like dancing wasn't okay. I ended up in a foster home, in a Christian foster home. It keeps saying no answer from the video guest, so I don't know what that's about. Yeah, it's trying to add you. Facebook is trying to add you, and it can't. It's not getting a response from you. So maybe there's something that you need to do. I mean, you asked to be approved, and I approved you, and I added you, and Facebook's trying to add you. So maybe there's a setting on your phone, but I don't know. I haven't run into this before, unless somebody was on their laptop instead of on their phone, and then we figured out that was what the disconnect was it wasn't the phone. So there's oftentimes the disconnect, or what seems like a disconnect, is actually a timing thing, or it's a lesson for us to go, okay, so there's a shadow piece here, and what is it that I'm not looking at? Because oftentimes shadows are, shoved under the chair or under the rug or under the bed. They're things that we don't want to look at. They're the things that make us uncomfortable. They're the things that are challenging, or that other people have programmed, have told us are not socially acceptable. Showing up every day on Facebook Live and talking about how do I love myself today, maybe walks the line. Definitely the people that well, you're just just full of yourself, or that's pretty conceited that you would love yourself. And I came up against that a lot when I first started this. And one of the things that I as I'm what's the word I'm looking for? As I'm transforming this format, because I mean we've been at it for 144 days, and I've added you again, and I'm going to continue. But I'm going to transform it into something that serves you better than just a video diary, which is basically, it has been, though, have had some amazing guests. We're working on having an amazing guest today as well. And it might happen. It's still adding you. uh, yes, patience. Beautiful, beautiful Veronica is here.
Oh my goodness, this has been quite the adventure for me, Gwen. Oh my goodness.
I know. Who knows what that was about, but I'm so glad you're here. I got to talk for a while.
Oh, I'm so glad you found something to talk about. It was meant to be heard. All my struggling, you needed to say what you were saying.
Oh, it is really, really good to see your face. And I know that we've probably crossed paths because we have so many friends in common, and the dance community, and Gary. I mean, we both know Gary, and um, I was so impressed with your video about all the thoughts that we have. And if you could share that message, and or if there's something that that you really feel um, drawn to share today, because you're here now, so you absolutely have a reason for being here.
Indeed, I'm so grateful to be here. Thank you, Gwen. I just wanted to say thank you first and foremost for inviting me. Sorry for the little bit of a hiccup in getting in, but I'm glad to be here.
Yes.
So I'm just going to give a brief introduction of who I am, if that's okay for you, Gwen.
Oh, please do. Yeah, please do.
Okay, so I am, what would I call me? I am a healer, I'm a coach, I'm a mother, I'm a sister, a mother not just to my children, but to so many others, as are you, Gwen. And I come from very humble beginnings. I come from two alcoholic parents, and a survivor of sexual assault and domestic violence, and, a lot of trauma in my world. And, I'm standing on the other side of the bridge today, and really looking back on my life after having healed my own personal trauma, and bringing how I did it, the tools and the modalities that I used to get me detached, which is something that we're going to talk about, detached from the traumas that happened to me personally. And, for so long, I thought the traumas that happened to me were me. I thought that they defined me. And while they certainly, conditioned me in certain ways, they absolutely are not who we are. So that's a big part of who I am today, is in teaching people and inspiring them to detach from their traumas, detach from their story, and really become in alignment with their truth, with who they're meant to be today.
Yes, that's why we were patient and got you here. And thank you for sharing your story. I realized that it would have been good if I had all that prepared to share about you, but it actually felt so much more powerful coming from you and that share. It's so beautiful. And I do now remember our conversation about detaching instead of detachment, or disconnect?
No, it was disassociating.
That people do disassociate, and we want to you want them to detach instead of dissociate.
Right.
Yes.
Right. The ego wants to disassociate. The ego wants to so much just find the quick fix. And I'm holding my phone, so it's super shaky. I'm just trying to find a good spot for it. The mind wants to just find the quick fix, right? Just give me the quick thing that I am going to be able to utilize to help free me up from this pain, from this discomfort, right? So that oftentimes is the TV, that oftentimes is, strolling through social media for hours on end, staring at everybody else's life. Um, Binging, drinking, drugging, sexting, right? All those things are really a form of disassociating. And it's so many people do it now today. And I really try to encourage people to step away from that technique, because it is not empowering, it's not inspiring, it's more just numbing out and putting the real big factors that need your attention. It's kind of like just putting them in all these little pockets that, of your jacket of life that you're carrying around. And that stuff really weighs
Absolutely.
you down. So the technique that I really try to encourage clients to do is to detach from their traumas, detach from the things that are super painful to you and have caused you a lot of discomfort and dis-ease. And what that means is, when you think of a thing that really impacted you and really traumatized you, just take that deep breath and just put it over there. Like, just put it at arm's length so that you can separate yourself from it. It's no longer in your spirit. It's no longer in your energy. Yes, Gwen, love that. Take that in. I love that, darling. Deep breath. Yeah, so just separate yourself from it, because you are not it. It is not you. There's a lesson to be learned in it. And it's in that detaching from it that we can gain the perspective of learning. Well, how did this affect me? What's the lesson in this for me?
Beautiful. And I wanted to say hi to some people. You've got some people that have joined us. We have when you first started talking, we had tons of thumbs up and hearts and likes. It was really, really beautiful. And Yoga Sharya, I'm not quite, I'm sure I'm not saying it properly, but thank you so much for joining us. Dawn, you're beautiful. She says, hello, my beautiful friend Veronica. I can listen to your wisdom for hours and hours.
Oh,
Someone
Dawn,
else is saying hi.
much love to you.
Yeah, Julie Gimbel's here. Jake Huff's watching. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining and watching Veronica as she shares her wisdom. And yes, if you share this, if you give us likes and loves, Facebook will share it with more people. And even though we had some bobbles to get her here, I am so, so grateful to have you here sharing your wisdom, and continue, please. and maybe within the container of, you're talking about the detaching, and that felt so amazing, because I do something similar, but I loved your passion, and we all have similar and yet different ways of dealing with things. And
right.
So how do you love yourself today? And how do you, what are your practices for daily self-love?
Oh, I love this. I love this question so much. Okay, so for me, how do I show up for myself in the now? I absolutely first have to know what feels good for me, right? What feels good for me? For some people, what feels good for them won't work for me, and vice versa. I am a huge essential oils girl. I love essential oils, and I will literally bathe myself in essential oils. I make sure to press the pause in my day. Press the pause in my day every day. I don't care if it's in my car. I don't care if it's in the bathroom stall at work. I just press that pause button and I just check in with myself. How am I doing? How's my heart? Am I in my head or am I in my heart? Where am I coming from today? And if I find myself, you're really in your head, Veronica, you're really in your ego, I say, okay, and I take a deep breath and I bring it back down into my heart. I want to be in my heart.
Fabulous.
Yeah. So, for me, it's really about, I'm just going to move here to see if this will help better. For me, it's really about just a daily practice of truly just checking in with myself, getting into my heart, and and finding what works for me. Like I said, I'm a huge essential oils girl, Epsom salt baths, um, my tribe. My tribe
Mm,
is huge. I have to find the people that really resonate with me. Are they on the same mission as me? Are they living an authentic life? Are they speaking truth? Are they transparent? Yeah. So
beautiful.
these are some ways that I try to incorporate self love and self care into my life.
I would say you're succeeding on that. I want to say hi to Cheyenne, who also says hello, beautiful ladies. And Dawn actually invited Julie, and she's going, there's an oil for that and that and that with some laughing faces.
Yes, I
And
love oils.
she's cheering you on. You have such a great message, and we're getting so much love, or you're getting so much love. We're getting so much love right now, but it's coming up alongside you, and just is so beautiful and going up into your light. It
Oh,
is so precious. I'm loving it.
well, I'm so grateful for it. That's what it's all about, right? It's really about we're all in this journey together, and we have
Yes,
all of us have experienced life. All of us have experienced stuff, trauma. We've got all different kinds of stuff, and nobody's stuff is more traumatic than the other person's stuff. A trauma is a trauma is
absolutely.
a trauma,
Yeah,
and
we were talking about that. We
yeah,
were talking about that in our conversation. Where I made the mistake and I compared a trauma and lost a friend because, I didn't know. It was like, well, but it seems like, it could have been so much worse for this other person. And yet trauma is trauma no matter what it is.
no
Yeah.
matter what it
And
is.
it
I mean, and
hurts.
and the
Yeah.
scale of trauma can be so big. I work for a local hospital in a trauma counseling department along with my private practice. And, there could be, the trauma of being exposed to a witness of a homicide, right? That could be a trauma, of course, but somebody else's trauma could be being bullied in school. Right? They are all profound traumas, and they all need to be treated with the love and the respect and the time and the space that they all deserve.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's super profound. Let's see. Traumas that are no longer with us in the here and now may be part of us, but that does not define us. Thank you, Cheyenne, for sharing that. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm here, Gwen. Just
Yes.
trying to
Yeah. No, it's totally cool.
not be so
Yeah.
bright.
Oh, come on. Shine your shine.
Yes, the light is like I'm dulling out. I'm like, where's Veronica? Where are my eyes? I just see light.
Got it. Yeah. Actually, you just moved in a way that it was perfect. And I'm not sure what, let's see, the same wind blows on us all. That doesn't mean mine has more debris in it than anyone else's. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Julie. We have so many wise people on here sharing today.
Oh,
That's
I'm so grateful.
you brought a great tribe.
That's
I'm still
great.
loving how the hearts are actually when people are giving hearts. That's perfect. Yeah, you're not so washed out. You're right. Yeah, less less contrast.
Thank
A
you.
light contrast instead of the dark contrast, because contrast is contrast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when
So
people give us hearts, they go up into your mirror. It's amazing.
nice.
Thank you, whoever's doing that. It's so beautiful.
So
I am loving
I'd
it.
love to talk a little bit more about disassociating because I find
Let's do it.
I find that that's something that a lot of people do. I know that I did it. I dissociated growing up with two alcoholic parents. I disassociated in my own life by finding men that I thought were going to rescue me. That was my
Oh,
way of
yes.
disassociating in my life. I was going to do it the right way, and I was going to show everybody else the right way to do it, right? I was disassociating from my life, from my reality. And what that is basically is I'm checking out. I'm checking
Okay.
out of my truth. I'm checking out of my heart, and I'm really operating from an ego place, thinking that I have all the answers and I know how to do this thing called life.
Right.
Yeah.
And Cheyenne says same thing here.
Yeah, Cheyenne, I hear you and I honor that. Thank you for sharing, Cheyenne. When we shift over to really wanting to live an authentic life and a true life in accordance to who we are meant to be, utilizing the crafts that we all have. We all came equipped with crafts, with these skill sets to be able to be a bright light in this world. right? So once we can detach from our traumas, from our story, from our pains, those things that really, like, we don't want to talk about them because they're so painful. I get it. But if we can implement this skill set of detaching from them, when I'm working with clients, I tell them, pretend we're up in the tower and we're watching, like the doctors have in the doctor school and the medical school. The students are up in the tower. They're not performing the operation. The doctors are performing the operation. So if you can utilize this technique, which is an NLP little trick, you
Yep.
detach from the trauma and you just really want to take a step away from your pain and you want to look in on it like you're observing the operation. What went on here? Who are the players in this pain that I have been caused? And see yourself in the role. How did that impact me? How was I affected by that? And by utilizing this detached perspective on your own individual traumas, you can begin to negotiate, you can begin to redefine, you can begin to show empathy for yourself, and because you're going to be able to see just how profound the pain was.
That is so good. And Julie was saying it's been a big topic in her life lately, and she loves it. And then Maggie Kelly just joined us, and she's a phenomenal woman that up in North County who has a meditation retreat.
Well,
We need to get you on as well, Kelly. That would be really awesome. And yeah, Dawn felt compelled to invite Julie, and Julie's really resonating with what you're saying. So I'm so grateful to have been able to provide the platform so that you're here. And Trina just joined us. Trina Pring just joined us. So we have some really, really great people. You might actually know her as well. She's part of the dance tribe, or that's how I met her. Thanks for the love and the applause, Trina and Maggie. And was there more that you wanted to share, Veronica?
oh gosh, I could go on for days when I talk about trauma. I could just go on for days, and just the importance of detaching from your pain and owning your truth, because your truth is not the story. While that is your story, and while that is a part of you, and while that did mold you, you no longer have to carry that mold into your authenticity and into the woman or man, if that's who's watching, that you want to be
Yep.
today. You can define the person that you want to be today. Yeah, I was talking to a beautiful friend yesterday about letting go. And she was having a hard time letting go of a version of her. And I gave her the metaphor of the ocean. A really powerful technique and tool that we can utilize when we're going through a hard thing and we're realizing that this is a thing that we need to let go of. It no longer serves the person we are today, is to just go inward and just close your eyes and just do a little practice of visualizing yourself at the edge of the ocean, and the waves are going out and the waves are coming in, and the waves are going out and the waves are coming in, as they always do. And in that moment, bring into your mind's eye and bring into that practice the thing that you are ready to release, the thing that no longer serves you. And with love and with gratitude, just offer it to the ocean to pull out away from you and back into the ocean, and sit with it for a moment. Hopefully it will get you crying. Hopefully it will get you releasing and healing. And see, also stand with it long enough, stay with it long enough to see what the ocean brings back to you.
That is such a great metaphor. I love it. Yes, I absolutely. I've done that for myself in the past. We have so many of the similar tools, and you have your tribe and I have mine, and I can see that there are some places where they cross mingle, and it's so beautiful. You sharing your message here it just really warms my heart. And Trina says she loves doing that meditation as well.
Oh,
It's so
nice.
good. And if you happen to live somewhere like where we do, you can actually go to the ocean and experience it and be in it, not just in your mind's eye. But if you can't be in it physically, our mind's eye, our imagination, the power that we have between
our ears is phenomenal. And I just, one more. Do you have one more for us?
What's that? One more what?
One more little tool or technique that that Julie can use, or why we have you here, because I understand you've already given us so much.
Oh,
but is there one more?
I am here now.
If there's one more thing that you would like to wrap up with, about loving yourself, or how somebody can release trauma, because that's really I'm gonna share this video with my Health to Happiness group, because they've been in hell. And let's see, we have something here. So my brother, this is from Cheyenne. My brother told me something very similar. He told me to close my eyes, pretend to be on a ship. In front of me is a chest, and he told me to empty out all the things that don't serve me into that chest, and then throw it overboard into the water. And watching that chest float away with my non-servers really helps me. And Dawn says, Veronica, bring us the ocean on a Facebook Live and lead a meditation to the ebb and flow. That's a great idea, Dawn. There you go. Yeah. There you go. You have your tribe is asking for what they want. I love that.
I love that too. Thank you.
Yeah, and Julie loves what Cheyenne's talking about. There's so many great metaphors. Like you said, find what works for you, but having this guidance, it's like having a recipe book and being able to go off the recipe and make it work for you. Right. It's really super beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing I'd like to leave, I guess, with this, if you want to wrap up, is, we all have a choice, Gwen. Today we get to choose. And there's so much power in that today we get to choose. When we were younger, we didn't have a choice in what happened to us and how life kind of unfolded for us. And the beauty of today is there's so much power in choice. And today we can choose where we want to be, who we want to be. And I'm talking small baby steps, teeny tiny baby steps. Start with something super small, and I would just encourage everyone to start thinking along those lines of, who do I want to be? What resonates with deep down inside my belly today with who I am? Right? And if it's Sufi dancing, if it's ecstatic dancing, if it's essential oils, or if it's a walk in the woods, or if it's just breathing in this moment, then I would strongly encourage you to just start incorporating the things that are going to start bringing life to who you want to be today. A step into that instead of keeping one foot in who you have been all along.
Yeah, who you choose to be. Because we can want a lot, and the more we want, the more wanting we get. So who is it that you choose to be today? And then just choose it and do the steps to continually choose. That's who I choose to be.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Oh my God, you've been the most amazing guest. And it I knew the patience would pay off. It would be really, really wonderful to have you here, and your tribe was super, super fabulous. Laura Cannon Scully joined us, and Dawn saying, take the power back. Julie is choosing the love and light. Shelley Wright just joined us a little bit ago, and Gal, it'd be amazing to have you back again. And thank you so much for sharing your knowledge around trauma and things that we can do, the detaching from that trauma, so that it doesn't hurt so much. And that we have choice. We absolutely do have choice. And you're right, a lot of people, especially if they've been through trauma, will say, I never chose that. And maybe your personality didn't choose it, but your soul had a reason for you to experience what you went through. Right. It was a soul choice. Yeah, and that's a big thing to hear sometimes.
It's a big piece to accept, but the sooner we can detach from the personal sting from it, the sooner we can shine the light of self-love, self-compassion, and self-empathy, heal it, and move on.
Yes, thank you so much, Veronica. It was wonderful having you as a guest, and let's do this again. This is day 100 and Yes. Day 144 of 365 days of How Do I Love Myself Today. thanks so much for joining. If you have a guest or you'd like to be a guest, just PM me, and we'll continue bringing more information on how we can love ourselves and how we can clear ourselves of things like trauma. And if you have suggestions for what you'd like to see on here, I'm certainly open to that. Just PM me, or you can even put it in the comments on this. I am running the videos public nowadays, so so that my special guests tribe can join in, as well as people that are just finding us. Because the more people that are loving themselves in the world, the more love there is going to be in the world, and the more you love yourself, the more you can love others, and the more others can love you. So find a way to love yourself today. In fact, use one of the lovely techniques that Veronica has suggested, either releasing into the ocean, detaching, taking some deep breaths. Do something that really feeds you and who you are today, and make that choice for you and loving yourself. And thanks again for everyone that watched, and for our amazing guest, Veronica. And we'll see you tomorrow for day 145.
Much love.
Bye-bye. You too.